I'll keep that up in case he shows up. Plus, here. B. So let's see if I can open up and find. See if I can open up and find what I previously worked on. I created it in a code space. The points collector Twitch. That's what I called it. You have to do the testing online. Yes, that's another thing. I have noticed that. Okay, O2 fan, you created a Twitch extension with Rust already. Nice. Take a look at that. Oh, I don't have the browser open. Hi. I'm gonna run out of toys if you... His favorite toy is a little mouse that we have, but unfortunately, none of them are down here. They're all upstairs right now, or under the couch. This is the basic example of setting the color, but at least this version works. Oh yeah, so I have something similar that I've done here. So let's take a look at this. So what I have is just a very simple hello world. I have like a simple form that, I mean, it's not really doing much. Like if we take a look at our script, we're basically just event listening for like when we submit, and I'm then storing into local storage what you save in. So let me see if I can grab this. Where is it? Oh, you know what? I need to load up chat over here. No, not that chat. What are you doing? No, stop. Hold on. I accidentally played a video on my... Come on. Go away. Stop. There. That's what I wanted. I wanted just to be able to see a chat over here. So that way I can take this browser and... Actually, I'm curious. Did I do it to this browser anyways? Nope. Unpause. Pause. I'm logging this myself. Here it is. This testing Brooks builds is what I had created. And apparently, oh yeah, it's gonna be completely broken right now because I have in live mode. So what does this mean? We need to come back to here and I need to start this. So I need to run a... Oh, that's not good. Whatever that was. Let's see. I need to not do that. Oh, that was using a Helix token, which they were... Okay, so that was not a secret. That was a client ID and a Helix token, which unfortunately or fortunately, depending upon your thoughts, anybody can get by just creating a extension and just putting it out there. So it's pretty open. Let's see. Oh, none of these. Okay. So I need to remember how to create. I'm not necessarily creating from scratch, if that makes sense. I created something very like basic, but it is just sitting here in HTML and JavaScript and CSS. I want to use this as a launching point, and then potentially like once we get a few more tests in, we can look at Vue and see if I can create like the same type of thing in like Vue or whatever it is. Also, I just remembered, I think I misspelled Vue in the announcement, didn't I? It's Y-E-W, not Y-U-E. Okay. So, how do I run a server? It's like, what did I use? Like web? No. Web server HTTP. No. Oh, don't do that. This is like, I forget. Might be just HTTP server here. Yes. Okay. So it's in port 7878. If I come back to this and hit refresh, maybe. Pop. Okay, maybe not. Okay, so failed to execute post message and DOM window, the target origin provided. Oh, this. Okay, so it doesn't match the recipient because it changed, I bet. So like this is to my code space. And so if we take a look at our port here. Yep, okay, so I need to switch you to public. And then that gives me this entire thing, 974. Okay, this might work now. Or not. Wait, no, there it is. Okay, so it failed for just a second, but then it loaded this up. So we can see here, here's my lovely extension. It's a very, very basic, simple thing. I've got some CSS showing like turning this green. I've got a form field that we can fill out. I can restore. Now what I restored was my computer's been turned off since the last time I did this. So this stored into local storage. I'm able to just put in like testing. I save that. That then throws that into local storage, and then I can restore that from here. So I wanted to see whether or not like I can potentially do things like store onto whatever browser you're looking at information about like your token or you or anything like that to like know, hey, is it you again? Like, how long have you been here? I don't know if I really need to do that. Also, I'm testing to see like how much the DOM can I actually use, or how much of the browser's tools can I actually use in this case, because these are loaded up in iframes, which is interesting to say the least. But here we go. We've got this. So let's come back to. If I make a change to this, for example, if I turn you, I don't know, red, hit save, come back to here, I just have to hit refresh and I get the new one. And that is, that's just because, I mean, it's just because I'm not in the hosted version. I just run a web server and it's just like currently pulling that information in. You'll notice that like all the other panels are there, and then this one loads up afterwards. That's why it's not the best solution in the world, but it's great for development because I don't need to constantly upload things to Twitch's servers just to see if it's going to work. The negative is there's no way any of you could install this at all unless I publish this. So it is just here on my local system right now. Okay, so other things that I've learned. When we hit this, so Twitch is gonna, we have these functions and methods that we can run. So this unauthorized is going to let me know, hey, like, are you authorized or are you not? And I'm gonna get this Helix token from it. And this Helix token is a temporary token that I can use to make calls. Like, for example, who are you? And, you know, what channel are you watching? And that kind of thing. Although if they're getting it from my extension, they're on my channel. Like they literally can't be otherwise. Unless I make it so that multiple people can open this extension and install it on their own channels, then in that case, will there I would then need to ask, what channel are you on? I can also get the channel ID and the client out of auth. Right now I'm not really doing anything with this, although I could potentially get information like here. Right now what I'm doing is, let's see, we're fetching. So I'm doing a fetch to Twitch API, and I'm saying, hey, what channels are you on? Here's the Helix token, here's the client ID, which are given to me by Twitch itself. And then that's sent off. I don't know how long Helix tokens live, but it does seem to be different every single time. So therefore, I don't think it's going to be that. I don't think like there's a reason to like store them long term and like use them for things, but I can do them for like determining who actually is here and watching. Like how many people really are here. Now, caveat. Even though I clicked the mobile allowed button on the extension, that really only means Android, because in order to get this extension working on iOS, I need to sign up for a developer account. That's $99 per year last time I checked, but that was several years ago, so it might be more. Then once I verified that, then I need to contact Twitch and tell them that I have a developer account, and then they're going to add my information into this, do some code signing stuff, and then iOS will allow my this extension in there. So this unfortunately will not work for iOS users, which sucks. Android's gonna be fine though, and web's gonna be fine. So let's see. Right now, I just have live to find out if you're live. Let's see, I'm doing all sorts of console logs in here. Let's remove a bunch of those. I think that's it. Okay. Let's try this again. Well, that's cool. Is it no modules loaded? There we go. Okay. What are you still console logging for? Let's see. I have live is fetch for live activated channels. I don't think I have any other console logs here. Oh, I have this one. Oops. Okay, so this is what I'm getting out of it. I'm getting a not found 404. Out of this. So I'm going to the Twitch API URI, which I've just sort of stored here as the Helix API. We go to extensions. I pass in the client ID that I get out of auth. And then I go to live activated channels. What else do I need? Oh, you know why? I'm pretty sure that this extension isn't live. Even though it's like testing mode, I don't think that their servers are going to consider that as live. So like this would probably have to wait until after we actually like verify that it's working. I think I might be able to get this information to like get the channel info. And then maybe like log that. And so here I can see like, okay, here's my Berserker, and the delay. I'm on a 0 delay. The title. So I get that information from it, so I can see, hey, it's my channel. It's what we're looking at. So that I think like that part's going to work. So I did notice though that I have access to me and like my information from this because I'm considered logged in. If it's somebody else, and I think like also I am requesting like username information to like actually get your username. That's gonna be interesting because that means like Twitch won't automatically give me that unless you authorize that. So what happens is you come to this page. Let me show you what that looks like. The only other person that I know off the top of my head, what I want to do, I want to look up, let's open up. Oh, come on, don't do that. Okay, so I want to go to that. So stop. Okay. Let's move you over to the side. Let's bring you down. Okay, so Coke Carnage is a streamer that I enjoy watching, and he has a point system as well. So I was taking a look at this, and I was like playing around, and like I've joined up with his. Here is his extension that he has. And right here is this like to continue, click here or below to grant us access to your Twitch ID. Until you click on that, all he can get is like this random number that is unique to me, but can't be exchanged for my actual true ID. So I can like he can tell that it's like the same person coming over and over again, but it's not what is it called? It's not me. Like he doesn't know like my username until I click that, and then he would start getting access to me. Same thing here. I get access to me right now simply because, well, I'm testing it. It's automatically given the permissions. But if I deployed this, you would all have the same, like click here to give the permission. So what do I want to do with this? My thought is we're going to take this information and we're going to send it to a web server that could then make the call using the Helix token just to verify that it's really you, because anybody could hit my my servers and say like, hey, I'm watching here, give me 10,000 points or give me another point. And then I could just say, well, no, not really. You need to give me a real Helix token, which, like, your old developers, you could probably figure out a way to get a Helix token and then send that in. I'll just also probably have to like do it on like a one hour basis. We'll have to play with it to see how, like, if anybody abuses it or not. So that being said, this is just a web server. So I want to use Rust to build a web server that just shows up here. So that's gonna be the majority of today, is I kind of want to just rebuild this in a web server in Rust. So I'm thinking you. Last time we tried you, it didn't work too well, but some of you let me know that the reason why it didn't work too well was probably because of I was trying a bunch of frameworks one after the other, and you was not the first one. And so therefore it was trying to use most likely a port that was already in use, and that's why we were getting a whole bunch of weirdness and errors. But it wasn't telling us that that was the error was. So let's try it again, but we're in a code space, so we can just totally destroy all of the ports very easily here. So here, stop you, no servers running. The ports are showing that nothing is happening here. So we should be good now. So let's go ahead and get this set up. I'll go ahead and create a new branch. Can you use WASM? I was told how to be plain JavaScript that the Twitch staff can validate. That's a good question. I have no idea if I can use WASM or not. I didn't see, but maybe it does need to be. And if it does need to be, then we'll switch over to maybe a different technology. It would be pretty amazing if we could, yeah. Talking about that, let's actually here it is. It's like dev.twitch developer.twitch Twitch dev. So in here somewhere, extensions. So let's see, December. So I have like 2 weeks to get my extension in if I want to get it in before the 3rd. Now I'm not necessarily seeing anything here that it has. So it doesn't look like they've documented that it has to be like pure JavaScript and can't be WebAssembly, but I could totally understand if they don't want WebAssembly at all, just because they don't necessarily want to have to like look through everything. That being said, what I'm gonna like, this is gonna be open source, and in the README and like in my when I put things out, I'm definitely going to state that I am here's like where the source code is, and here's where everything else is. You were told to use React, which you've never done. Oh yeah, they did say like, hey, React is pretty good, but like I don't like, there's no need to do React, I don't think, especially with what I'm doing. Yeah, a lot of their documentation is like, okay, now starting to use React and everything else, but it's like, restricting browser APIs. So like, they allow forms. Okay, let's see about this. Do they? So they don't allow downloads. Okay, that makes sense. They don't allow modals, so like alert, prompt, print, confirm. That also makes sense because that blocks all JavaScript running. So like that would suck. You could just denial of service, everything. Lock the orientation of the screen. Some of these things I think are actually locked because of it's in a what is it called? It's in an iframe. Start a presentation session. I mean, totally makes sense. Access Twitch cookies with user confirmation is just not allowed. I think that might be an iframe thing too. Navigate Twitch to somewhere else. Yep, that navigate Twitch to somewhere else if the user clicks a link. Which all those things are good things. Like we don't want to do that, and we're not going to be trying to do that. So the current sandbox configuration here is, let's see, allow forms, allow scripts, allow same origin, allow pop-ups to escape sandbox. Okay, so that's good. And then if I search for like JavaScript, well, if I search for WebAssembly, I doubt I'd find it. No. There's lots of sort of like sessions in here, but I don't think. Okay, submission best practices. Let's take a look at this. So like test it to make sure it actually works. That kind of makes sense. While it is required to provide a review channel link, you are not required to have your review channel live while waiting for your review to be completed. Okay, that makes sense. They have a template, which, okay, you fill out a form. So just like walk through, create a video walkthrough, which we could do. So basically, design-wise, we have to make sure that the design is very clear about what it's doing, what data it's using, and why it's doing this. Not planning on, like, okay, not planning on allowing all that stuff. Okay, and user okay, so then basically this is the one we're going to be doing. Let's see, and that's pretty much it. I'm not seeing guidelines and policies maybe. Now look at that. All submitted review channels must be live during the time of review. Didn't they just say in the last one that it doesn't need to be live during review? Seems like the opposite. Okay. Can't use an iframe inside of an iframe. Can't use Flash. I wouldn't if I wanted to. Extensions may not use keyboard shortcuts to power functionality. Okay. So they're not going to listen to keyboard. Let's see. I'm not going to use audio, so it's not going to be a problem. Okay, JavaScript files submitted for review must be human readable. If you submit JavaScript files that are not human readable, you'll be contacted with, okay, with how to, okay. So that might be the issue with WebAssembly. We'll have to see though. Okay, basically, just don't use eval. Don't interact with the DOM. Okay, everything is going to be in a zip file. Let's see. Extension helper. I've got that. Don't duplicate functionality. Let's see. Mobile extensions gotta load really fast. Yeah, we'll be fine here. Good descriptions. Yeah, don't link to like streaming sites that are not Twitch. If I'm linking them off, the big thing is like I'm not linking people off. At least like at this time. Maybe in the future we'll have like, hey, go take a look at something else, but that probably won't be in this extension. That'll probably just be another panel. No loot boxes. Oh, awarding loot boxes that included an element of randomness is permitted so long as contents of the loot box do not have a monetary value. Okay, I mean, I don't really have any monetary values anyways to give away, so. Bits, not gonna use bits. And then moderation, I'm not gonna allow anybody to use this to moderate. It's a really interesting though that you could like potentially could use an extension like so mods get an extension that they can moderate with. That sounds pretty interesting. All right. So it doesn't say we can't use it, but I can totally understand that the non-readable JavaScript could potentially be a problem in there. So I will we'll do our best and we'll try. But I'll be happy to pivot away if they don't accept it. My other sort of thoughts for this entire project was not using a Twitch extension, but a browser extension, where the browser extension could detect, hey, I'm on Twitch. Therefore, then just like, okay, log in through Twitch, and then it'll like just whenever you're on my page, send like tokens back and forth. That's my fast pivot back. In a case this doesn't work. So let's see if we can create a very basic server here. Basic front end, and let's get going. I'm gonna start with you. All right, what is this? This is just to make initial commits. Yeah, I don't have any actual things, I think, like exposed in here. Oh, you know what I probably don't want to do? Put the zip file in. I don't need that to go up. So let's see. What do I have to do to undo that? It's like the get revert. I forget the command for get revert. The commit ish. Oh, what is it? It's get revert and then the commit. So I can just do Git log. We'll find. Here's this one. Okay, so looking at here, we've reverted this. Oh, save and close. But did I already set? Okay, that's now two commits. That's not what I wanted. I don't think that did it at all. I really want to like remove this from Git. There is a git remove, isn't there? Command that I can do. Git remove. Okay, so now I'm removing that. I seem to have actually just removed the file completely. That's fine. Like that's a new thing that's a file that you create every single time you're going to deploy. There's no reason to keep that around anyways. So I remove you. And then I think we're good to go. So git add. Oh, that's already committed, isn't it? So git commit. Okay, I could just do this. But specifically, we can now do a get checkout. And we're gonna try you. All right, so let's get started here. Rust should already be installed, but I think we have to update it because I think we just got a new Rust dropped. So Rust update. So while that's happening, okay, we're gonna have to add some WebAssembly stuff here. Okay, so add that in. Okay, trunk is recommended. Okay, so let's add that in. And now that we have that, we can build a sample application. Okay, so we'll cargo new and then the U app. I guess is the name of our app. So in this case, it will be our extension name. Once trunk is installed. So other web development things I've been looking into recently, there's been a lot of really interesting tools that are built with Rust, but the web development side is still just like normal JavaScript, HTML, CSS. So for example, what is it called? It's there's a JavaScript compiler that's built with Rust that's extremely fast. And it's being used by a lot of sort of like low level behind the scenes tools for like almost instantaneous compile time in build tools, which is really cool. And I think, oh, I forgot the name of the tool that's using it. It's there's something that allows you to sort of like get set up and going on like a moment's notice. And I forget what it's called. If I remember, we'll have to play around with it. But that's another option, is like if we have to do just normal JavaScript and HTML, we'll use something like that in order to we'll keep some Rust in the project, but it'll be built using Rust as opposed to built with Rust. Any second now. Maybe I can, in the meantime, go around and see if I can find some of those other things. What was it? It's like web build, like fast. There's Rust backend. I forget. Oh, those are all like actual just Rust tool, like Rust frameworks. Let's see. So like website. It's like basically auto configures also all of the stuff. So it has like its own Webpack configuration behind the scenes. You can get stuff set up with like Vue or React really fast. Basically like a CLI. Let's see. Searching for like these type of tools sucks when you don't remember the name. I almost just want like a list of like the command line. Like command line, web development tools. For like just starting something. Version 2 maybe? Because I think there's a version 2. Those are not. Those are just command line apps. Okay, you're done here. We're moving on. Okay, we're gonna go into it and then we're going to cargo run. Okay, so we're gonna cd. Oh no, we're gonna do first. Forgot. Cargo new u app. Oh, okay. So we're just gonna cd into there. Okay, so what this means here is we could just do a cargo init, but I'm just going to do a full like cargo new, and we're just going to call this maybe like the point collector Twitch. So we'll get our hello world going. Okay, so converting the project into a U web application. So we're going to update the cargo.toml file. We need to add U. Okay, do I have cargo edit? I don't think I do. Cargo install cargo edit, I think. Oh, looking through the list of all these different tools, not so far not finding it. There are a lot of lists though. Oh, but that does remind me, since the last time that I streamed, JetBrains announced a beta program for a sort of like a Rust centric development system. That's gonna be pretty interesting. I did not sign up for it because I don't have like a JetBrains account. I haven't used any of the JetBrains stuff for a long time. Their tools were so busy for me that I found it tough to like read, and sort of like seeing what was going on. But now with this new one, like it feels like it's actually going to be really good. It's got like a very clean interface. It's got a lot less stuff going on with it. I like it a lot more. All right, this finished. So we can now do cargo add u. I believe that's what it's called, right? Cargo add u, yes. And if we take a look at what we have in there, there we go. Interesting. Okay. Interesting that cargo add doesn't see the latest version. Okay, so we have to update main.rs. We need to generate a template which sets a root component called a model, which renders a button that updates its value when clicked. Okay, so we want to do this. This is going to be source main.js. So we can just copy this for right now, and we'll throw that in there, and we'll figure out what it's doing. Now, can I just run this? Nope, we have to add an index.html file in the root directory. So we have that already, but is that, I guess that's going to be in here. And then we're going to do a trunk serve. Okay, so save you, and it's just literally trunk serve. Like, this list has everything that you could possibly want or not want, but also doesn't have everything also. very, very interesting, sort of like trying to search through tool lists. Okay, so we're running here. So I have a server listening at localhost 8080. This is GitHub Codespaces. It forwards my port to a private, to like my local VS Code, because I'm running an actual VS Code as opposed to through a browser. So I can come here and just go to localhost 8080 and you're not running. Error. Character encoding the plain text document. So, okay, we have an error here. Could not compile to the previous 7 errors. Oh, a bunch of these. Cannot find type context in this scope. Huh. So here's this context here. I would assume that that should come in with the prelude, but I guess not. Now these are all saved, so it actually found it. Cargo.toml has you in here, like that. I wonder if it's an addition problem? Let's try... So I can pull in uWorker context. My guess is that's where it's coming from. So let's try pulling in that one. Maybe it's not in the prelude anymore. Okay, so more problems still. Expected 2 parameters, found 1. Okay. Maybe it's not a uWorker context then? So what is function create context? Let's go take a look at the documentation for this. Okay, examples. I want to see, okay, counter. Okay, so it's use uContext, not worker context, just uContext. I wonder if there is a uContext anymore, or if there's a versioning problem here, which is strange because my Cargo.toml has u0.18 and the documentation has 0.19. Oh, is there like a beta? Do I need to do that? Will this be nicer for me? Error. Oh, failed to select. Okay, so it doesn't like that at all. Oh, wasn't it like 0.19? Oh, just 0.19 like that. Okay, so maybe it's not a dot zero, maybe it's like a dot one and they skip dot zero and we don't know what it is. Maybe. Let's find out. No, it still can't find that. Yeah, so 0180 is the only one that it has. So this documentation is wrong. Let's go take a look at this. Go find you in crates.io. Yeah, 18 is the latest version. Not dependencies, I want documentation. Okay, so this is the same thing that we have here, is that you build this in, we're just bringing out the prelude. Looking for context in here. I'm not seeing a context at all. We could try this one instead. Oh, come on. There we go. No, now I need to bring in 018 again. All right. Auto rebuilding. Perfect. Okay. I mean, this is looking good. So if we come back to here and I hit refresh, here we go. Okay. So something about that context is not very happy. And if we take a look now, our code example doesn't have any context whatsoever. So either that got removed from the library and some, like this one got updated, but the other examples didn't get updated, or something else is going on. But I'm not going to worry about it too much. All right, so we can see that this is what we got. We got a nice little button. We got a number that goes here. Great. So if I want to recreate essentially this, we're going to have our hello world. Now, normally you just throw that into HTML, right? We want to create a component and put that hello world inside of the component inside of here. So where is that going to be? Okay, so here we have this view, which creates this HTML that puts this button. Okay. Component from model. Then component itself. Okay, so struct model. If I'm thinking about this in like a very component-centric way, like, you know, modern architecture, I would be thinking of creating a component for that title. I would probably create another file for this. So let's try that. So I'll have like a lib.rs. We'll probably move a lot of the stuff into lib.rs, and then we can have maybe like a components. And inside of components, we're going to put this is going to be maybe like our title. And we're going to throw things into here. So to start with, let's first move things over into live and make sure that everything still works. So I'm just going to copy everything into here for right this second. We bring in a prelude. We have our enum message, our struct model, this component. So all of you are going to stay main. Okay. All it needs is this model. So I guess this is like the main app, right? So if I rename you to app, I don't know if this is correct or not. I'm just sort of guessing here. We're going to make you public. I wonder if you all need to be public too. Or no, you're not. You're already public because this is an impl of an external component for this. So then here we're going to remove you. We're going to come back to main. And basically all of this stuff gets removed. And we're going to do a use. Actually, can you find it? No. Oh, you can't find it because this is a directory inside of the main, and Rust Analyzer is not super. Actually, Rust Analyzer is not installed. Let's fix that. Let's see if Rust Analyzer can handle a Rust application that's not in the root directory here in VS Code. Okay. It's thinking. Okay, I got the run debug. There we go. Okay, so I want you. Okay, you're not helpful. So we're gonna do a use. It's like create model. Oh wait, it's app. I renamed it. I forgot. Hold on. We're gonna pull in app and use that one. Okay, there we go. So we auto pulled this in. Looks like Rust Analyzer is perfectly fine with our situation here. So now if okay, so could not compile. Oh, can't leak private type. The enum message declared as private. So we need to head back to our main library and okay, so type message, you need to be hub here. No more errors. Oh, you're happy here. And we're still working. Okay, so great, perfect so far. Now I want to come back to our title and I want to create a brand new component here from scratch. Which means we're going to go back into our documentation and we're going to take a look at this component. It's going to have to be inside of the documentation, right? This one, because the other components weren't really helping us. So we can see that we're going to create a struct and then impl component for that struct. So of a pub struct, this would be a title. Maybe make this like a main title, or we can just have it taken something. Do you need to have state? You have like a link and a value. I don't know if you need state at this point in time. Oh, you probably do for like what the title is going to be, right? So like, I guess like the title value, the like text, do value. And you'll be a string. I don't know if I need to do like a impl for it to create a new constructor. We'll do that. Okay, so we're going to take in the value, which is going to be a string. We're going to turn a self. So we're just going to do a self. Value is that. Now we're also going to do impl component. This component seems to come from the prelude, so I wonder. Doesn't seem able to find this. So let's do use u. Okay, impl prelude for title. Oh, you don't know what to do with this. Oh, you know why I'm not getting any help with this? We need to mod this from library. So we're going to do a mod title. So if we take a look, this is in components. So actually, we're going to need mod components. And okay. Inside of there, we're going to have a mod. Hub mod title. Now will you give us what we need to do? So let's remove you. Try this again. Impl component. There we go. For title. All right, so we have type message. All right, so there's a messaging system here with you, clearly. This is gonna be messaging between components, my guess. And I wonder if it's messaging up, down, or both directions. Personally, I like both directions. Also, I'm perfectly fine with like messaging side to side, like skipping the tree value. I don't know if that makes sense, but basically just sending a message in any other component, regardless if they're children or parent of the component that's sending the message, can then see that message. I really like that, sort of like that style, because it keeps everything very separate out. But what is this message going to be that it can send out? So here we have a message is this message. Now that's add one, right? Like telling the thing to add one so that the state can then update that we click the button and we added it. This doesn't need one at all. That kind of makes me wonder if like, is there a different type of component that's more of a static component? Okay, simple components can declare their message type to be just empty, just like nothing at all. So that's what we're going to do here. So type message, you're not going to do anything at all. You're just going to be that. Okay, type properties. Properties are the inputs to a component that should not be mutated within a component. They are passed to a component using a JSX style syntax. Okay. Perfect. So in that case, we realize that I don't really need this at all. I don't need that. I don't need to store it. We're just going to do like this. Okay, so type. But how do I create you? Okay, we can have self properties. So I guess in this case it's going to be a string. Or do I want to do a pub struct title props? You're going to be, just call you like title, and you are, or I guess like it's going to be the value. You are a string. So if I do that, type properties, it's going to be equal to title props. Okay, so far happy. We're gonna get our props in, self properties, link you. Okay, we get that. Do I need to store away the props inside, or do we just have access to that? I bet I do need to store that inside, and therefore we are gonna need to store the title in there. So if create, update, change, and then the view, okay. And I guess we have access to self, but if we're not going to store this away. Oh, look at this. We do have self properties like that. So here, let's replace all of these with just a self. We're returning self. Okay, this just should render. Okay, should we render again? Right now, we'll just do a false. But in the future, we can change that. This one, this is gonna be changed. False, you're not going to change, but in the future we probably will want to update that. View, okay, so you need to be actual HTML, and we remember from the main library here in this view, we're just going to use this HTML macro. So HTML, and then brackets, and then we just throw in HTML as if it's JSX. Okay, so what are you going to have in here? It's basically probably going to be like a div. Although in this case, it might be simpler. We might just be able to do something like an H1. We don't know which one to do we? Because based upon the title. So let's just do a div. Now we'll just do H1. Oh, it's too bad. I wonder if I could get an extension that would allow me to use Emmet, because that would be really nice. Okay, now I want to put in the value in here. So here we can see it looks like these just single brackets, and that allows us to get access to this. So we can just do self. Now this is where I need to store away what the value is, right? So we're going to do self.value. Can I see props? Self.props? No. Okay, so self.value, which doesn't yet exist. So we'll do value. It's gonna be a string. Okay, so then on create, we're gonna do return a self with a value. It's gonna be props.value. Let's see. Okay, the trait bound title props, view property is not satisfied. The trait U properties is not implemented. Oh, okay, so we need to implement properties for title props. Okay, type builder. Oh, so it's going to be a builder. So what are we going to return from this? I guess it's going to be the title props. Oh, like if we have another builder that we're using for this? Seems interesting. Let's go take a look at... This is properties. The builder that will be used to construct properties. Great. Don't think I need anything crazy here. Because I just need to create this. Like, can I just do self? Oh, what's a builder? Okay, hold on. What is a builder? Like, do you assume things? So there's this function builder, which then returns the builder. And that's fine, but what are you going to call? How are you going to use it? Like, do I need another method? Like, do I need a builder on like title props? Like if I did something like impl builder. No, there doesn't seem to be one. Okay. So that'd be a manual builder using some kind of pattern, using probably a builder pattern. Hey, Wendy. Yeah, I'd love to chat about Twitch extensions, especially with what I find today. Most likely, I am guessing that this is probably not going to work with the WebAssembly part of it, but I'd be fine to use other tools too. I mean, Rust is going to be in the project somewhere, but yeah, I'll be happy to chat about Twitch extensions. Never used Rust before. You think you tried to do it in JS once, quickly gave up. It's interesting, yeah. If your first introduction to Rust is through WebAssembly, it can be a bit rough because there's a lot about Rust that like the WebAssembly tutorials don't really teach you. So yeah, I can totally see that being like a bit rough. That being said, if you know Rust, I think it's great to use with WebAssembly because it's basically what you're used to. So, I mean, this is feeling not right. The trait bound title props clone is not satisfied. Okay, so you need clone. Let's derive. I guess we'll do debug, copy, clone. May not do copy. Okay, so just derive clone. The self constructor can only be used with tuple or unit structs. Oh, because it has this value. You don't know much about Rust, but the syntax doesn't look too confusing. like I think it depends on like background, right? If you're not used to like this type of programming language, then yeah, it's probably going to be more confusing than not. But if like this stuff makes sense to you, then yeah, I don't think it'll be that hard for you to learn it if you really want to. It's usually the borrow checker that gets people, not the syntax. Okay, so turning this into a builder is probably not the best. Your background is mostly OOP, so there is going to be a paradigm shift because there are no classes in Rust, but many OOP patterns can be done in Rust. You just have to tweak them to be memory safe. So it's a bit interesting because a lot of people say like you can't do OOP in Rust, and I would argue that you can, but it's not going to look like, well, Java OOP or, you know, Python OOP or any other OOP out there. So I think I have to do title props like this. It's going to be a value string. I think we're not going to be able to do, okay, we're going to do properties for title props, but we're going to have a different builder for this. I think we're going to have do something like pub struct title props builder, which probably is going to have like value as an option that has a string inside. That's usually what I see in builder patterns. Then you are going to be the title props builder in here. So new would be title props builder. You need to implement so derive debug clone copy. With a value that has a none in it. Sergio, you can do OOP, but without all the unnecessary OOP overhead, in my opinion. That is a great way to put it. Yeah, so like the very classic OOP ideas of like creating objects from like blueprints is definitely there. Doing inheritance is not. Does you provide SSR? What does SSR stand for? Remind me so I don't get it wrong. But also look it up. SSR. Oh, server-side rendering. Good question. I have no idea. This is our first real look at it. I tried looking at it before once and it wasn't really doing super well. I haven't seen any evidence of that, but I don't know if I would. I don't know. Maybe not. Certainly what we're going to be working on is not server-side rendering for this project. So, yeah. Okay, so now if I want a builder, okay, so we're back to you. Okay, so copy cannot be this type. So here are your types property value. Okay, so we initially set the value to be none. You know what we can do? We can make this have a default, and then we'll just do default. Okay. So that's okay so far. You're not unhappy. So my guess is it's going to auto figure out what to do, or there's some code somewhere else that we need to work on. All right, so next you're going to be self. Okay, so value props.value, because I want to pull in and grab this props out. That you probably need to be a pub for me to grab that. Link, I don't know what this is for. Let's underscore it for right now. We don't care about the messages coming in. Now value. Okay, so cannot move out of this. So I don't want to move. Let's just use a reference. Okay, so then field is never read for this builder. It's not read by me, but I wonder if there's a macro that's going to read it. Percy does perform SSR. Oh, Darth, is Percy like a plugin for you, or is it its own sort of like framework? Hi. What is like Twitch extension meant to do? This is going to be like, sort of like a point collector type thing. So the idea is I want to be able to collect points, tokens, whatever you want to call them, outside of the channel point type things. And I want to be able to have this live beyond just Twitch. So it works on offline Twitch, like if you're watching a VOD, or you're actively watching it, and also if you're on like YouTube watching that. So we'll have an extension for Twitch, and then I'll probably have something for YouTube also later. This is gonna be like the first piece of this. Okay, so it's its own framework. Okay, we can take a look at that later. Let me add that into my list of things to look into. So explore Percy for web framework. All right, so I have you. Now I want to pull in this here, this component into here and use it, which would be something like this. So where would I grab that? Here we have this like link and value. I wonder if I need, so component link, okay, self. So I wonder if I need to do this as like title. It's like title is gonna be you have this component link. Are you a component? Or are you a component? Link to component scope for creating callbacks. Huh, there's also components like that. Oh, iterator over the component. Okay, never mind. Okay, so component link. Now it's self, but do I really want to do like title? Like that. Then in this case, when I create, we have a link and a value, and then we're going to have title. And then I want you to be a new title. Create. Okay, so we need to create the props. I don't think I am meant to call create. I think it gets created for me. You struct literal syntax instead. Oh, so like because there's that, so okay, let's go back to documentation. Let's see if there's documentation of how to pull in my own. And this might have to go to the base here. So I think I have to like somehow register. Register a component somehow? Take a look at the examples. Even though we know that the examples are a little bit iffy because of this entire console, let's see if there's one for like multiple components. I'm looking for something simple. Here's a to-do. Okay, so here's like a list of components. So here's so this derives properties. Oh, interesting. Okay. It gives us a pub struct entry props. Then oh, this is interesting. So this is just a function that's in this file. This function has nothing, is not like impuled on entry like this. Oh, it's a function component. That's what it is. Got it. So there's these two functional components here. So entry edit, which we don't see. Did you pull it in? No. Okay, so that's just a word that is going to create like a struct behind the scenes, probably with like the function impuled on it. So do I want to do that instead? I probably do. So that would look like, let's see, what are you upset about? You're upset about this title. Okay, let's remove you again. Let's reset this really quickly. Okay, you're happy. We're gonna restart with you. But now we're gonna do this style. So we're gonna say, now we need these props. So we need like title props. So pub struct title props. Then we can get what we're getting on this. So in this case, it's just going to be the value. We have to derive properties for this. So in this case, we're going to have value. This is going to be pub. Value is going to be a string. Okay, we're going to derive. Don't know about debug, but derive properties. Okay, We also need clone. Okay, you're not unhappy. Which we see that here. Now, partial equal probably also needs to be added in there, but we're gonna wait until it yells at us. Also, immediately you're unhappy because, oh, you don't exist anymore. Hold on. Don't worry about that. Okay, so we have our title props. Now we want this function, probably title. So pub function title, you're going to take in, okay, we're going to have our props, which is going to be a reference. Yes, a reference to this props. Title props. We're going to return HTML. Okay, so we'll throw in a to-do right now. Now this needs to have, okay, so we're going to use a function component macro. And then we're throwing in entry, which is, use create state entry as item. That's, where did that come from? State. Okay, so use this state because it has use entry. Oh, okay, because it has entry. Let me keep you open over here, and then you. Let's go back into here and take a look at what we got. So this is function component entry. Entry specifically is from state entry, but this is as item. So item there. Do we have any other entry? Not that I'm seeing. So I don't know where this entry is from, or if it's just naming this. How about this other function? Oh, entry edit. Okay, so it's, I think it's the name. So function component. So function component. Then we're going to throw in here title. And you're saying cannot find. Doesn't know where this is coming from. U function component. Okay. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Can't find it. Okay, so we need to go back into the documentation and find function component here. It's not looking good. So the documentation is showing that you do it that way. You can create this like functional component, but I don't think that that is true. So, where do I go to find how to pull in a component? I guess we have to pivot back away. Let's see, unless we can find a function component in here. No. Okay, fine. Component maybe? No. Okay, so I think I'm gonna do that. We're gonna go back to probably impl component for this title. So we're gonna go back. We're gonna go back to this. We're gonna do a struct. So obstruct title. I guess we'll have like a pub. A value is the string. Okay, so we're gonna use u component for a title. Okay, message is gonna be nothing. Properties is gonna be the title props. Okay, so now we have these. Okay, so we're gonna do a self. Value is props.value. Don't care about this link. I don't know what that is for yet. So update, let's just say false and false. And then we want to create let's just do like an H1. And how about to begin with, we can just ignore the properties coming in. We can just say hello from a component. Do you need to be a string? No, you don't need to be a string, but you are super unhappy with this. Expected a valid HTML element. What? You're telling me that's not a valid HTML element? Flint Rusty, hello. Is 6 months too early to jump ship? So I assume you're talking about like your company, you're potentially thinking about leaving. Here's my honest opinion on this. Is now, okay, context. This is like I'm in United States. The culture here is very like junior friendly, very programmer friendly right now, as in it's very easy for us programmers to find jobs. So as a manager, if I see that you jump shipped once, twice, maybe even up to like 3, 4, 5 times, all I would need in the interview would be to know why. Just have a good explanation for why. And make sure that's not going to be like just complaining about the other people. Like even if they suck and they're terrible people and you really are just jumping to get away from a bad situation, have at least like a politically sound reason for why. That being said, I don't think it's that bad of a thing to jump ship. That being said, if you're not in the United States, then check the culture around you, because sometimes there's sometimes some countries have like different cultures about jumping ship or not. And I don't know the other cultures. Is there a good explanation? there's this is gonna be where like it's political, right? Like think about like when a politician answers a question in which they're sort of like someone's trying to trap them into something. Your reason is the old tech stack. So in that case, a potential explanation might be, I've been working for a little bit. I was able to do some like good stuff there. I'm really attracted to your company because I really want to be able to focus on growth and improvement of my skills, and that's something that's really important to me. Basically, you keep it as positive as possible, and like never ever ever trash talk your previous company, even if they deserve it. And customized framework. You think if you stay here long enough, you'd not get a job anywhere. Basically, you could just say, it's like what my needs and the company's needs are diverging. We were together, everything was working really good for the time that I was there, and I was able to do a lot of good with them. So like if you have any metrics at all that you can like point to say like, I help deploy these things, that can help a lot too. Because it's like your first job and then you're leaving for that, people might be concerned about a flight risk, but you can like that's going to be during an interview. You're gonna have to like talk about that a lot, just to like help people understand that no, you're not leaving because things got hard. You're leaving because this company offers something to you that you really want. That's going to help a lot. But yeah, I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing to leave, quickly after your first job. I actually do recommend that most people, when they first get their first job, they continue looking, because that's a thing you may need to. If you run into a company that's like, why are you leaving your first job after 6 months? And they're willing to hire somebody with no experience, then just leave off your experience and just pretend it's your first job. And there is that entire thing. You once you have a job, you can get a lot more salary. There are companies that offer you double your salary. Yeah, that it's a thing. It's one of the ways to be promoted in this industry. It's to get another job. Which sucks, but it's kind of what it is right now. So okay, so I want to pull in this title here. Now we have these like button, but if I try to put a title like this, double salary, why are we even having this discussion? That's a good point. Also, hello Epic Blarg. Let's put in the title, and you're going to be this title. So in self, we need to store you away. But what are you? So title. So I don't want to do create because I have to pass in the properties at this point. I don't know if I can. Maybe I can. I don't see a default here, so can I do create? Okay, can I do, okay, so title is component. Can I do title props? Like default? There's this builder. Maybe I can do the builder. Link is going to be, I guess, this link. So if I do that, You're unhappy. Mismatch types. Okay, so spound expected struct. Oh, okay. Scope app. So I wonder. I wonder if I need to put app like in super app, like that. No. Okay, so the answer is no. We do that. Then we have to figure that out too. Let's see. Yeah, you're the right slash. H1 isn't a valid. Oh, does it need to be div? Does it need to be inside of a div? Nope, nope. Apparently it doesn't help. Okay, we'll take a look at this a little bit later. So Flint, like, I think switching to a new job is perfectly fine. I wouldn't quit your job until you have a confirmation letter signed. I would not let anybody at your current job know that that's something that's potentially happening until you give your week's notice or your like time notice. Just like keep it on a down low until you have that job in hand, and then just move forward, because you've got to look out for yourself right now. And then you got to build up your skills, and like if you've determined that your like current situation isn't allowing that, then moving forward is the only way to do it. Do it. It sounds to me like you already have the reasons why to leave, so it just take care of yourself. All right, so this is a weird thing. I don't know. Is it? It feels like it's exactly the same thing I did up here. Is HTML from? Okay, it's from the prelude still. And then the other thing is this stuff. So you are upset. So expected to struct title props. Okay, so we want title props. Okay, so title props. Do I need to give you like a default here? Because can I give a default? Yes. Okay, so default. Link. So you need a component link. With title. Inside. Well, I need to actually give it like something. Is there like a new? I don't see like a new. I don't know how to give it. Maybe there's like a link. A link method that I could run. I could clone it. So I could get, okay, I could get component. Get parent. I wonder if there's like a save component and I don't need to store it like this. Like after I create the self. Okay, so hold on. Let's not do this. After I create the self, would that literally just be as part of view? Let's say let title equals title create. This also feels wrong. Do title props default. I don't know what this link is supposed to be. The link is a scope title. Scope. Okay. Back to documentation. Let's go see if. Okay, so these are components. Let's imagine that we've already created a component and now I want to use it. So in main, see here's these components. Okay, they use okay, they have like an entire state thing that's using reducers. So that reminds me of like Redux. Use effect, that's very React. Okay, so we have our callback func. Very interesting. Oh, look, this is just app returning HTML. Now here's this, okay, header input is a custom, it's like one of these custom components, right? Yeah, header input comes from header input right here. Here's header input being used. There's only two, okay, there's only two places this is being used here in main. Here and there. Okay. So if we head out, there's a component, but that just mods it to let us know where it is. Let's go take a look at header input. Do we have to like register this somehow? Or maybe I'm overthinking it. Oh, it's an input. I guess that makes sense. Header input. Okay, so given that, I don't need to do any of this type of stuff. We just start using it. So we have this title. I'll need the title props. We just use it. So none of you, we don't need to worry about any of you. Down here, we're just gonna say title, value, it equals, I think it's equals to like test. Like that. Now you are still super, super upset for some reason. So here we have our function view, returns this HTML. We have the HTML macro, which is coming from the prelude. So I need to figure out, why are you upset? Oh, cool. Okay, so let's see. Is there a search? I guess I want to find the HTML. Okay, so HTML. The HTML macro only accepts a single root HTML node. An empty one is valid. Okay, so literals must always be wrapped in quotes as well as braces. Oh, look at, oh. Oh, that's odd. Okay, so the reason why this is invalid is I can't do this. I have to go like that, then that. And now you're valid. So pull off that div, that HTML, and you should be good to go now. Come on. So, are you running? You're running still. Hey, look at that. Hello from a component. So it's, I made it a lot harder myself, like, you know, like I do. So I want this now be the prop coming in. So in this case, I want you to be a reference to self.value. Test. And I didn't hit refresh there. It's auto refreshing for me. So it actually has that feature, which is really cool. So that means if we come back to here, we have our test in. We might call this something like, oh, what is it? It's like Brooks builds points. And it should show up here. Okay, so this is localhost 8080. I wonder if I can, let's see. I need to go back into like where I set up the extension stuff. So like Twitch dev extensions. I never remember where that is. I should bookmark it. I just need a link to the extensions console. There it is. Okay, so bookmark you into, I guess new bookmark. We'll do Twitch dev. Okay, so I have this one is right now called Testing Brooks Builds. I'm gonna manage you, manage that version. I don't know how like safe it is. Like it's super easy to like accidentally expose like a permanent key. So I kind of don't want to do that. Okay, so build URI. So I want, where is that? That's, not there. Asset hosting, there it is. So we're gonna come back to here, go into ports, gonna make this public, copy you and throw you in here. Save changes, and let's see if now you're going to be the U app. Looks like no. Okay, it blocked the loading of, so a script source. Oh, that's too bad. So you try to do a script source. Now, I wonder if I need to do like a compile build. So like, can I compile? It's like, I want to actually build, not serve. I wonder if I could just do like trunk build. Okay, and where did it put it? Probably into debug. So, and then build. Oh, these are all the other stuff. But point, this is like impossible to read. Why is it all this color? I did not want it to be that color. I guess we have this point collector Twitch. If I run it, like hello world, that's not what I want. Okay, so build debug is incorrect. So we also have these wasm32 unknown and bindgen. Potentially one of them. Okay. So I have point collector twitch.wasm. How about the wasm bindgen? It's not really all that helpful there, but the wasm, okay, so the wasm, the other one was probably helpful. How about that indexed HTML that we see here? Okay, so I wonder if I need to like then pull that out here. So that was in the other one. So let's try this. I'm gonna copy the target, the wasm32, debug. It's that point collector dot wasm. Just go here. So here we have our wasm and our index HTML, and I want to do a script source. for point. Okay, that I don't know if that actually pulls in WASM properly. I don't know if that's gonna work. I probably need to do more to pull in WASM type, or like do a type or something. I don't know. So then if I run HTML server, like something server. What did I do before? HTML server, I think. HTML web server. I know I did like a cargo install because we did it before. I just forget what that was. Let's history. Show me what I did. Oh, HTTP server. That's what it is. Okay. So HTTP server. So 7878. I have an index HTML here. So that. Oh, it's very unhappy about this. Okay, so that's not a building it in the way that I was sort of expecting to. I was kind of like hoping that the trunk would like build it together where it can have like the HTML and everything sort of like set up for me, but that's not right. So I want to do like trunk. Oh, okay, that just builds the WASM app. Build, watch, and serve the West WASM app and all of its assets. So I want to know is like how to build it all together to then use, which would be really nice if the documentation had a how to build for production. When you're ready to release your app, you can just run trunk build -- release, but you don't have examples of doing that. So if I'm here and I do trunk build release, that's going to just throw the WASM into release mode, isn't it? That's not going to really help me. And then I forget how to pull in WASM from HTML. So like basically I want the equivalent of like a script source like WASM. Okay, so there's this fetch that we can use. Okay, so you're done here. We need to figure out where it put this. So I think it's going to be in target. It's one of these. Okay, well, here's a release. Okay. I guess there's all the things that got built for release. Wagen bindgen release. Here's some JavaScript. Okay, so let wasm. This pulls in the wasm. So I need the wasm and I need the JavaScript. So what I want to do is I want to take you two and pull you out here and just copy you into here. Then my index.html, I want to script source that. And then it will probably serve the right thing. Okay, so HTML, HTTP. Illegal character U plus 00000. Great. Okay. I don't think it found what it's supposed to find. Like, okay, it found the index. It got the JavaScript. Am I supposed to run something on JavaScript? Like, is there an, let's see. Is there like an init? Okay, there's a load, which takes in modules and exports. You want to know if the intention is that we'll be writing DOM manipulation in Rust WASM in the future, or if WASM will probably be more for CPU intensive tasks. My guess is it's probably, like, for a long time going to be for the more CPU intensive tasks. That being said, I would not be surprised if we start moving into like DOM manipulation. Like, we already have DOM manipulation that we can do in WASM. It's just painful, and not great. I think after we make it better and easier to use, then people will start writing libraries to like make it nicer. And then yeah, we'll probably start doing it. Okay, I think we need to call init. Because if I take a look at you, 1 of 3. Aha. Export default init. How do you do an import? So I need to import this. So we script source this. That's great. Also, let's pull this down. Bottom of the body. Then after that, we're going to just do another script. I need to import this. Is this how you port it in just normal JavaScript? I don't think so, but let's try it. So if I want init from whatever this is. I guess you're there. Maybe I just have you. Maybe I could just do init. Init is not defined. Great. Okay, so I have this file in our debugger. I don't see any JavaScript. You never could get along with JavaScript, so you'd prefer to write more in Rust, but just as you say, fiddling with the DOM and Rust code is, yeah, but I mean, everything gets better, right? Like time will solve that. The question is how long, right? Who knows? It might be a long time before everything else is solved to the point where we can start focusing on this. So I can't see it coming into here. In Inspector, we should be able to see it like this coming in, but init isn't here. Are you? So we have this async function init that's just at the top level. So this is assuming that we have some kind of loader in here. Now my script source network, we can see that it finds it and it loads that in. So it's in memory. But if I do window dot, what do we have in here? Is there like a like clearly we don't have like an init. I'm a bit worried that there doesn't seem to be any like structure that we're throwing this stuff into. So I can't do like app.init, or at least I don't know how to find that, because like in here, if we close everything up, we have this export default in it, and that's great and all. This is all in the top level. It's like WASM should be available to us. So if I don't do that, now is in it? No, still doesn't know about that. Init is still not defined. How about load? Load is not defined. Yeah, like this is the type of thing where like I think the community, and by community I mean like all of us, need to be much better at is like the final little steps, right? Like, how do I get this into development mode, like into production mode in my app? So yeah, I know I can just do like a trunk serve, but if I want this like for real, I do a trunk build release. Now, how do I load this up? And I don't necessarily see this. Like there's the using trunk. Yeah, and if it's long enough ago, I bet things have changed and it's no longer the same. That would be my guess. So where do you? So none of these are visible to me. Feels strange. It does make me wonder whether or not I'm actually loading this up. So let's go back to here. Here's this. Okay, index, response. Okay, so I am seeing this. Okay, what other errors are we seeing in here? Import.meta might only appear in a module. Wait a second. Oh, that's mine. Is it not put into a module properly? Maybe it's not. How do I use, let's see, import, export, MDN. Oh, okay. So here's all these exports. So I want to import from a module name. Okay, so can I just do that? Is that actually gonna work? So hold on, let's undo my breaking of this. Cancel no. Okay, so I've got you back. We're gonna go back to our indexed HTML, and I want to do a import blah from. Okay, so import init from, and it's gonna be this. I don't need this script at all. Then I want to run init. So back to you. Import declarations may only appear at top level of a module. So I need to create it as a module, or does it need to be like a full file? Like, can I not do this in just a script source, a script tag? Oh, maybe this thing. Okay. But still, okay, import declarations only top. Do I need to put you like up here? I'm wondering if I need to have it be like a script source. And then, oh, tell it it's a type module. Ooh, I bet it's gonna be that. Okay, so I need, let's pull in this JS again over here. So I want to change you. Let's go back down here. We're gonna say script source, and this is gonna be script.js type equals module. Then inside of here, I'm gonna reset you, and we're gonna do an import init from you. Okay, then we run init. Import not found, init. Okay, so it's better, closer. So import not found, so it didn't find this. Index c6.150.js. That looks fine in it. So looking inside of this, we have export. Oh, export default in it. Oh, I didn't notice that. So this is gonna be export. This is gonna be our, like, I don't know, thing. And so I just want to call thing here. Yes. And it's working. Okay, so now back to you. We're running on, I'm back on 78. Okay, so port visibility, no, that's, yeah, make you public. We're gonna go back to here and I'm gonna say, that is what I want to do. Save the changes. Still unhappy there. The pages settings block the loading of a resource at inline script source. So I think that's our problem, and it's not going to be just the fact that it's WASM isn't the problem. It's the fact that I need to do an import. That's the problem. That's the problem. I don't think I can do that, because I think behind the scenes it's trying to do a script source, pull in external scripts, and it's not letting me fetch to grab this stuff. So this will be really cool for maybe like a management system where you can like go to it and like see how many points you have. But for this one, I think we're gonna have to stick with just very, very plain and basic and vanilla JavaScript. Maybe a very basic React or Vue app, but I don't think we need much, like very much of that for this side of it. So we're probably gonna have to do a well, we're definitely gonna have to have like a server that this reaches out and connects to. But looking at Vue, looking at you, I really like it. It's like, we haven't looked at it too much, but it's so far I'm intrigued and I'm liking what I'm seeing. That being said, it's not gonna work in this specific instance. So I think for next time we can start maybe building out a server and building out this with like vanilla JavaScript to sort of like see how far we can get with that. The server, of course, we're going to use Rust with that. My current thought is just using Rocket for it. But if any of you have any suggestions for servers to use besides Rocket, then absolutely let me know. We can take a look at those. So with that, I need to go grab some lunch. Thank you everybody for hanging out with me today. And I hope that you all have a great rest of your weekend, great rest of your week. I'll be back next week on Sunday to continue with this project. Don't use Rocket, use Rocket instead. Well, okay, I guess I'll cancel that launch and use another one. Always use Rocket. Let's use Tide. I'll add that to my thing to take a look at. I've not heard of Tide, or maybe I have and forgot about it. Web server in Rust. Okay. We'll add that to the list. All right, everybody. Once again, have a great rest of your day. I'll see you next week Sunday for more Rust fun.